Belushi and Chicago go hand in hand. Now there's another generation making a home and a career in Chicago. Hetty Weiss talked to Rob Belushi about making a stage debut where both his father Jim Belushi and his uncle John Belushi did before him.
Lots of 20-somethings make their stage debuts in Chicago every year without fanfare. But in the case of Rob Belushi, now appearing in Serendipity Theatre's Girl 20, the weight of a family dynasty brings plenty of attention. Rob's father is Jim Belushi, star of ABC's According to Jim, among many other high-profile credits. His uncle is the iconic superstar, the late John Belushi.
At what point did you say, I want to do this?
In college, actually, when I kind of got out on my own and away from, you know, glamour.
Rob should be given credit for taking some risk in a tiny theater that puts him under the microscope. And his flair for making a script seem almost improvised is clear in this production.
You are not writing something on a paper towel.
Girl 20 looks at a slightly creepy romantic triangle formed by an underachieving undergrad, Rob Belushi's role, a serious graduate student, and the artistic girl they both take a liking to.
Ah, yes, Sam needs weed. Brilliant. Thank you.
It was originally called The Observation Room, very
clinical.
and then it was called Head Case for a while.
That's good too.
And that actually wasn't my title, and it never really sat right with me because Head Case kind of seemed like, oh, somebody's crazy here.
Coming to Chicago seemed like a great way for me to kind of be protected while I continued training. Again, you know, haven't been acting as long as many people I know, and all the while still, you know, still able to really kind of earn my status and pay my dues. I like New York, but I'm a short guy. It's a big city, you know.
Belushi plays Marty, a film buff who spends most of his time bar hopping, smoking dope, and picking up girls. He's immature, but he knows he's flawed.
I like Marty, you know. I mean, he means well. He's a nice guy, you know. I like his energy a lot. I like that he comes in and tries to keep things moving.
And he gets the girl.
He gets the girl. I might be a little more of a gentleman about it, but then again, I might not. You know, yeah. I mean, we've all had our. But I like where he comes from. I like the place that he comes from, and it's really fun. You know, it's a good time, and I do feel like I'm expressing myself, and it's written so well that, you know, if it was maybe like the obnoxious guy in like a really bad play, then I might start to worry more.
You know, I had been known to kind of spaz out for a couple of weeks and then kind of crash and feel like get all existential and whatnot. Well, that's pretty normal for a guy your age.
So, how did you find Rob Belushi?
Well, Matt, the director of the play, Matt Miller, is also a casting director at TPR Casting downtown. And he, when we first went into the initial workshop process, where I had about half the play written, he cast it. And Rob was one of the people that he cast. And it was interesting because I went into the workshop the first day, and Rob started reading, and I was kind of blown away that it seemed like I'd written the part for him before meeting him,
right.
And the play really took off after that.
Bingo! What? Nothing to worry about. It's completely normal.
Did you ever meet your uncle?
You know, I was about 1.5 when he died, and
so you have no immediate memories?
I can't say that I do. I do have memories of him in different ways everywhere.
First you trade the Cadillac for a microphone. Then you lie to me about the band. Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
I always feel like, you know, if this was an AA meeting, I'd say he's kind of my higher power, you know, like this kind of incendiary legend that kind of is a cloud and a blanket, you know what I mean? So I'd say I feel very connected to him. You know, my dad and Judy, his widow, are always like, oh, you're like John, you look like him. I never really see that, and I don't really know what they're talking about, but people always want to talk to me about John and how much they loved him.
Did you eat at the Billy Goat?
Yeah, you know, I like Billy Goat. I have burgers there.
Cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger.
You've worked with your dad on his television show. What are the range of parts you played on that?
Well, they're usually patriarchally ordered type roles. You know?
Kyle? Hey, Dad. Want some eggs?
Well, you're a figment of my imagination. Are those eggs real?
$10 says you'll eat them either way.
He's like a puppy. He's got this energy that's really difficult to resist. He's loving. He's affectionate. Has no boundaries. You forgive him quickly if he does something wrong.
You decided to come to Chicago, and that has such power with the Belushi name. Did you ever think of changing your name or not coming to Chicago for that very reason?
Dad has a funny story about that. He was thinking of changing his name because of, you know, his brother, and he was telling my grandfather that. He was like, you know, Dad, I'm thinking of changing my name. And my grandpa was like, what? And he was like, well, you know, I want to be my own actor. I want to be my own man. And I was thinking of changing my name. And my grandpa said, what? What is wrong with Belushi? It's a beautiful name. And my dad said, you're right. It is a gorgeous name. I love my family, and I love my name, and I would not change it for the world.
Chicago Tonight, I'm Hetty Weiss.
And you can see Serendipity Theater's Girl 20 through the 18th of the month at the Athenaeum Theater. For a web link, you can go to our website, WTTW.com, and click on Chicago Tonight.